रेकी ओने नाबू हमारा नाम है विनोद लाल फैंटम रेडियो फीजी 2 हम लोग बहुत लाइक करता हुआ ये सुनता है
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
Yana Vinaka and good morning Fiji. In this bulletin, CWM Hospital Services failed pilot project, real estate sector experiencing slump, and police complaint over alleged corporal punishment.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
Suva's Colonial War Memorial Hospital is the least improved public health facility, according to a pilot project on the improvement of health services. The project, implemented by JICA, Fujita Planting Company Limited, and the Health Ministry, was piloted in 6 health facilities and showed that CWM Hospital was the worst compared to other facilities. The project was piloted in maternity units, emergency departments, and the general outpatient and special outpatient departments. Speaking at the project's midterm review, Health Minister Dr. Ifremi Wangai-Nabete says they are working with CWM Hospital personnel to address the issue.
CWM hasn't really gone down. It's improved from last time, but it's sort of plateaued. And again, CWM is a big institution on its own, so we need to get buy-in from everybody, and that's something that we're working hard with the CWM management. And again, the assessment that's done by the TUKIM assesses comprehensively right across the board. So there may be areas that have actually improved in CWM. There may be areas that need to keep on improving according to that concept. But this is something that we're more than happy to work with them with.
14 people have died from dengue fever and leptospirosis to date, prompting the Health Ministry to declare an outbreak of the 2 illnesses. More than 4,000 cases have been recorded so far, and they are mostly from the central and the northern divisions. Pranita Prakash has the details.
There is an increase in dengue fever and leptospirosis cases.
So I believe this year so far has been 10 for leptospirosis, and dengue is a couple. There's about 3 or 4 at the last count that I was briefed on. But again, not in the huge numbers that we used to see before.
Permanent Secretary for Health, Dr. James Fong, says they have recorded around 3,300 dengue fever and 1,100 leptospirosis cases to date.
We're having an outbreak of dengue and leptospirosis at the moment. Our health inspectors are onto it. They're doing the various cleanup campaigns. We've had a few adverse outcomes in terms of mortality. But most of that has been in those who have presented late and severe.
The Health Ministry says there needs to be a holistic approach to counter these cases. Fijians are being urged to clean their surroundings and continue practicing safe hygiene. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
The Ministry of Education has lodged a police complaint over an alleged case of corporal punishment at the Nandi Special School last week. This has been confirmed by Minister for Education Rosie Akbar. Security footage from the school showed a teacher allegedly physically assaulting a special needs student. The ministry immediately took action to terminate the school head and the teacher involved. Akbar says schools are safe places for children and any threat to their safety will not be tolerated. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama says the Fiji Mahogany Trust's new small loan initiative is a promising start. Bainimarama says the loans must be carefully monitored and audited to ensure they are generating solid returns. He adds they must achieve a level of transparency that shows funding is being used efficiently.
Every dollar we spend has to have a solid impact. Grant funding can't go to functions and parties the weekend after it's been allocated. It certainly can't disappear without a trace. It must be tracked and shown to be used productively.
The Real Estate Agents Licensing Board has noted a drop in the price of properties being sold in recent months. Board Chair Dr. Abdul Hassan says potential home buyers are being drawn to lots which are more suitable to their budget, while high-end properties are stagnating. Dr. Hassan says statistics show that the real estate market has been slow, but the recovery process continues gradually. He adds there may be more housing and land development based on initiatives announced in the national budget, and these will create more activity in the market.
Last in June, there were only 106 sales with a property valued of $23.5 million. And before that, there were 110 sales with $37.9 million, the total worth of the property that is in sold.
A first-of-its-kind community-run processing plant that will develop commodities into products has been opened in Wainimboka Tailevu. Agriculture Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy says the Nambulini Processing Centre will create a market for farmers and growers whose products will be processed at the facility.
The government is considering using the Nambulini model in other parts of the country.
We have decentralized through Ministry of Industry and Trade, through UNFEO, we have decentralized this facility here. We have upskilled you, we have trained you, and it becomes a model facility so that you can process it here right at your doorstep.
The new facility has encouraged women's empowerment and created 13 new jobs.
I used to be a stay-home mom, so this is my first job. It's very helpful because it is now a source of income for us. I come to work here because this factory will help our village. It will generate income and also lift our standard of living.
This new development not only generates income for families in our village, it also helps youth to engage in work, and this will stop them from falling on the wrong side of the law.
The Wainunga Cooperative specializes in producing edible chips from root crops such as cassava and sweet potato. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The Fisheries Ministry, as part of its plans in this financial year, is visiting and doing a stock of all aquaculture farmers around Vitilevu. Minister Semi Koroi-Lavesao says their findings will determine what best suits these farmers and to elevate them from being subsistence to full commercial farmers. Koroi-Lavesao adds the ministry is ready to assist the farmers if they're facing challenges in expanding their pond that breed tilapia, shrimp and prawns.
What we had planned is that during this COVID-19 period, we will concentrate our efforts within our coastal and inshore fisheries. And this is basically a part of that plan. We plan to cover the whole of Vitilevu in the next 6 months.
Up ahead, Fiji FA serious about tackling drug issue, and Rewa works to claim Skipper Cup spot.
Hi, Bula. I'm Selai from Nandi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The Lautoka rugby team will be challenging the Fairbrother Trophy after 7 years when they take on Namosi this weekend. The Maroons know this will be an uphill battle for them as Namosi is a champion team. The side have also tagged them as the underdogs going into this match. Lautoka also fully aware of how dangerous Namosi will be, especially when they came from behind last weekend to beat Yasawa 31-30. Former Flying Fijians lock Iferemi Rawanga was also seen yesterday training the forwards as they aim to wrestle the coveted trophy. Lautoka will take on Namosi at 3 p.m. at the ANZ Stadium in Suva, and the match will air live on FBC Sports on the Walesi platform. Live commentary of the match will also be aired on Radio Fiji 1 and Bull FM.
And one thing that we saw last week was that, to beat Namosi, a champion team like that, you need to be playing 90 plus minutes. But on the other side, we've proved against Yasawa that we play solid 80 minutes.
Meanwhile, Suva hosts Naitasiri at ANZ Stadium at 6 p.m. tomorrow. In other games at 3 p.m. Saturday, Nandi will host Nandrunga at Prince Charles Park and Yasawa will take on Tailevu at Ratadakambao Park in Nausori. Football players can cop life bans for drug use from next season. This was highlighted by the Fiji Football Association today as part of its fight to tackle the use of banned substances in the sport. Aquila Dharma with the details.
The Fiji FA is committed to ensuring the sport is drug-free and players will be dealt with accordingly if they are caught using banned substances.
We want to do this as we are the only sporting organization doing it because from next year, 2021 January, FastNoc with their own anti-doping is coming on board and everything, and it's a very strict, stringent policy like WADA, and somebody caught, they're banned for life.
A medical committee made up of Dr. Ronald Kumar, Dr. Kapil Swami and physiotherapist Nishant Patel will be visiting districts and clubs to educate them about banned substances under WADA.
So we want to make sure the players know what is banned and everything. They don't need to take it because it can pick up anything, the test that we are doing. and it is in line with the WADA total guidelines and regulations.
This also means FIGIFA will be conducting more tests in sanctioned competitions. 96 players were tested at the recent Punjas Battle of the Giants tournament, with 2 confirmed cases of marijuana use. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
Rewa will be out to salvage some pride after being relegated to the Vodafone Vanua Championship last year. Out to claim their spot in the Skipper Cup competition, the young Rewa team is aware of the tough competition ahead as they prepare to face North Bulls on Saturday. Rewa and Northland were demoted to the Vanua Championship after finishing in the bottom of the standings at the Skipper Cup competition. Rewa team manager Petero Kaveni says the coaching team has been working around the clock to ensure they cover all their bases before competition begins. Defending champions of the Vodafone Futsal Interdistrict Championship, Suva has named a formidable team. Suva has included the likes of Ravinesh Karan Singh, Patrick Taronga, Madhvan Ganda, Laisini Raura and Atunaisa Naudukindi. A notable inclusion in the side is Nasinu's Punja's BOG star from the Solomon Islands, Marlon Tahioa. Suva futsal coach Vishal Nandan says getting the right combination is the key for them.
Going in as favourites, but we're trying our best to get a formidable team to play in the competition and defend our title that we won last season.
Quick look at the weather map for today. It is Thursday, the 20th of August. Expect cloudy periods with some showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Fine apart from isolated afternoon and evening showers elsewhere. Cool at night. And that is your FBC Morning News. Join us at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. Remember, in times of crisis, you need factual news that you can trust. Stop believing fake news about the COVID-19 on social media. Fight misinformation by getting only the facts about the coronavirus from verified news sources like FBC's TV, radio and digital media news. www.fbcnews.com.fj. Keeping Fijians connected with the truth.
Nada go merere telawa, go ngai tavua, ando talita kana vararonga na Radio Fiji 1 nando mai viti.
Radio Fiji 1 nando mai viti.